Mr. Jones and I want to thank him for making him. We're just trying to get something that is feasible for the city. One thing I want to point out is that as part of the contract, there are fees and things like that are attached in the contract for outside select teams. But I want to state unequivocally that if, as a Dayton resident, anybody that is a Dayton resident, if you want to go out to the ball field and knock the ball around with your kid, then you are absolutely welcome to do that free of charge. We're not trying to restrict your use of the park. But obviously when the DYSA is in there and they have games scheduled and they send citizens out of the park. So anybody else have any questions?
My only question is what we found on the deals different than
That's what I was fixing to say.
Is this different from what was in our?
Yes, ma'am. So the
Yeah.
only difference, that's all I wanted to point that out.
Go ahead.
You beat me to it, Ms. Cheryl, which shows, has the field circled on there. And then also, we added language in there to make it clear that if HVAC goes out or there's a major repair and needs to be replaced, that the city's the one that's replacing that, not DYSA. Those are the only two changes from what you had sent to you. Oh, also, I'm sorry, there was one more. The Exhibit B, which previously said that it had the insurance requirements were attached as Exhibit B.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, we went back to 2012 and we've never found the Exhibit B that has supposedly been on present proof that they have $1 million policy, which is what they present to us every year anyway, and that
once this is approved.
Yes.
Just to verify everything, go over everything with them, the changes and everything else, and our board meeting is set for January 6th. So.
I want to also state in here though, you have to make certain that when they have to make a decision on this contract, because the use of the fields without having a contract will not be allowed.
Correct.
All right, if there's no other questions, can I get a motion on action item B?
I move that we approve resolution R 2023-104 as presented.
With the amended contract.
With the amended contract.
Right. Can I get a second? Approve the action item B. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item B passes. Okay, item C, consider with possible action on resolution R 2023-110, approving the DEDC expenditures for Daniel Park improvements. Basically, this is just the same thing that we tabled at the last meeting, where they had approved a $25,000 grant to help repair the fences and the field. And so that's just representing now that we have a valid contract with them.
Yeah, I believe it was just for the recrowning of the field.
Oh, recrowning.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions regarding that?
Y'all, the board was unanimous on that, I mean.
Yes, sir.
All right, can I get a motion on item C?
I move that we approve resolution number R 2023-110, approving the DEDC expenditures for Daniel Park improvements.
And that's second.
I got a motion to approve with a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, item C passes. Item D, consider with possible action on resolution R 2023-111 regarding the appointments of local board members to the tax increment investment zone 1, TARS 1.
Staff received applications from Jeff Nations, Andy Corner, and Alvin Burris to serve on the TARS board, number 1.
And I might add, I spoke with Judge Knight, and the county has to make one appointment as well, and I don't know if he's found who he wants to appoint yet or not, but that, just so it, for council knows, there will be one more additional person that the county will put on there. And for clarity too, the folks who were on there, whose seats are being filled, did not want to serve again.
That is correct.
That's correct. There was 4 seats open, only one wanted to serve again.
Oh, who was that one?
Wesley
That was
Clark.
Because we need to reappoint him too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the TERS board for Gulf Inlet?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
All right.
I move that we approve resolution R 2023-111, of reappointing Wesley Proctor and appointing Jeff Nations, Andy Connor, and Alvin Burrs to 2-year terms on the Tiers Board number 1.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Item D passes. Item E, zoning map amendment request. Do I need to read all of this, Brandon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hold a public hearing to hear a zoning map amendment request for property located at 2475 FM 1008, legally described as 000-097D. Make zone change from master plan development to general commercial.
Good evening, council. Good evening, council. The item before you is a zoning map amendment to rezone 2 acres to general commercial. The location of the property is just north of the city's park, which we just discussed. The applicant is proposing to put a dog kennel at this location. Going to general commercial is the minimum action that we can do in order to achieve this. This is the only zone where kennels are permitted. The existing conditions of the area are mostly forested area. There are planned residential developments that are going into the areas to the north and east of this property, particularly the ones that are outside the city limits. So on that bottom map, if you see the area in color, that is where the city limit starts. Everything else is outside of the city limits at that point, right? Residential development, similar to what you see at White Oak Trails subdivision. You're going to have large residential tracts that go into those properties. Planning and Zoning Commission disagreed with staff. Staff made a recommendation to P&Z that you deny this application. However, P&Z did find that they wanted to make a recommendation for approval. And that's presentation.
Is anyone here to speak for the public hearing? Yes. Will you state your name for the record, please, when you get to the mic?
My voice up projects, so sometimes Good evening, my name is Bobby Dwyer. I'm the one doing the amendment request. The property that we're doing the 2 acres on, or that we're trying to get rezoned, will be for a dog boarding facility in town. That's something that we don't currently have. The surrounding property to the north, east, and south of the property lines is also owned by me. So the only property next to the property in question would be to the west of that. The site or the building itself won't take up the full 2 acres. It's going to be about a 70 to 80 dog facility. But because of the land that we own down 1008, practices and noise management to mitigate any of that. Again, something that the city has not had a lot of success with in the past. Dayton has historically had an unfortunate run of dog kennels that have operated, so we're trying to change that.
So some explanation of the map. So the lime green is the city park.
That's correct.
This area is outside of the city limits here,
Okay, so that's outside.
and this area is currently master plan development. And master plan development it accommodates commercial zoning, but smaller scale commercial zoning. And it also requires that you come in with a very detailed plan to make sure that all that stuff is in.
Okay, it's my understanding that this was originally zoned for master plan community prior to, him taking ownership of this. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you now own the. You were not planning on doing a master plan community?
Correct, yes, ma'am, thank you for that question. Yeah, so this surrounding here, sorry for the shaking hands, planning on master plan for the foreseeable future. In fact, if you ask my wife, it's never been. So we're gonna live out there forever. And so this track from, you can kind of see that plotting line up is owned by us, and then that same property, that 2 acres that we're, the rezone request, that is where the kennel will be on that last corner. So, and from a sound standpoint, I mean, if you're back there and you hear a baseball game, you're gonna hear the baseball game, not the dogs. Because I've been in the back corner over here, and you can hear the baseball game clearly. I mean, there would be no concern of noise being an issue. And like I said before, the sound mitigation, the sanitation practices, it's not just going to be a bunch of dogs and chain link fence. I mean, it's going to be a multi-million-dollar facility.
Is this gonna be, so is the kennel gonna be outside or is it gonna be fully enclosed?
It's going to be enclosed with some indoor-outdoor night or in the evenings, things like that. Everything will be inside. And the reason for that is because the weather here can be pretty inhospitable at times. So, and this isn't going to be essentially a dog pound. This is going to be we're going to call it a dog ranch, but it's going to be a really, really nice facility. And so I've been, like I said, the things and procedures and the staff that we're going to put in place is going to, you're not going to be able to smell it, you're not going to be able to hear it. The walls inside the building are being, the contractor we're working with, we're doing sound mitigation, so anything inside will not come out. I know that's the biggest concern when it comes to the kennels, the sound of it.
Yeah, my mom used to, growing up, she ran a kennel with Chihuahua.
Yeah.
And so
I understand that.
that was my main concern was the noise level coming.
Sure, and you know, it would be wrong if I said there's not going to be any noise at all, right? But I mean, if you go stand on that back property line by White Oak early in the morning, I mean, all you hear is the White Oak dogs shouting on. So, and no one's doing anything there to prevent that noise. And so, knowing where the location is one of our main concerns, is just making sure everything's cohesive and works and everything's happening. The property to the left side, the west, DJ zone to the right, and the north, east and the north, is currently, I think, under progress for that, but there's that whole property lot, big space right there preventing that. And so again, that's why I chose that spot. It seemed to me to be the best location for something like this. Does that make sense?
State law.
So the state law does have a provision called spot zoning, which basically, spot zoning means that you are treating one particular property differently than you are treating adjacent properties or possibly causing impacts to those adjacent properties. So the intent is to pretty much keep like uses and like zones clustered together. Of course, in this case, he is a more intense commercial zone than what the master plan development would allow. So that's pretty much where staff stood and took a conservative stance and made
The property, like I said, up to the north, east, and south of that is owned by myself. Right. So.
And so all of that property, I'm looking at the planning and development monthly report at what they approved, and your property is 44.18 acres.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're just talking about 2 acres of that for this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What is the zoning of the park?
The zoning of the park, I believe, is rural.
To close the hearing or?
You do.
Okay. All right, do we have any other questions or comments?
You want to say with that problem with the hotel with the offset part?
I'm glad you guys are still sitting back there.
I actually think it would be a wonderful addition for our community,
Yeah.
something we have been missing.
We can close the public hearing, then council can discuss.
Okay, I hereby close the public hearing on zoning map amendment request for property and consider with possible action on ordinance number 0/2023-25, approving the zoning map amendment request for property located at 2475 FM 1008, legally described as 00 lot 3 acre, 2 acres, to make a zoning change from master plan development to general commercial. Get a motion. Whoever wants to read this with me.
I move that we approve ordinance number 0/2023-25 and 1008.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve with a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Item passes.
No.
Wait, what was it?
You have it.
You have to vote. It's
Do I
a
got a
tie.
tie?
Okay, Valerie, did you vote no?
She voted no.
You didn't? You
She
voted no?
voted no.
So we've got a tie.
And
No,
she did.
tie?
Well, I didn't hear you, that's why I was.
I forgot to turn on
Oh.
Sorry.
So it was 2-2, right?
Yeah.
So Mayor, now you get to vote.
That's what I said.
I vote to approve it. Item E passes. Item F, hold a public hearing to hear a zoning map amendment request for property located in US 90 south of Sunset Heights Avenue, legally described as Brown and Sterling Lot 1, Tract 4, 14 acres, and Maysfield Block 14, Tract 1, 1.509 acres, to make a zoning change from general commercial to semi-urban residential, from rural agriculture to semi-urban residential.
This particular item that's in front of you all includes two different tracks. As you can see, they are disjointed, one here and then another to the side over here. The track that is adjacent to them, this piece here, is already zoned this way and then here to the north. This particular road or this particular area is accessed via a easement currently. The developer would have to make some improvements to that easement, turn it into an actual street in order to subdivide and grant access to what is proposed to be future residential lots in this area. To the north of the track, to the north of our track here is our sewer treatment facility. Along US 90 here are a number of general commercial zoning districts. The existing development here in Sunset Heights, you can see that there are residential pressures to improve. There are several houses that are undergoing renovation and actually a couple of lots that have new homes on them. So you can see that there's a demand for residential in this location.
Is it flood there really bad though?
No, not in the area. It's the north side where it floods off Lab Street. You pick it up. We did some improvements there.
Staff,
I'm the family that provides that family questions, I'm here. So no, that doesn't flood there at all. My family's lived there for 100 years. That is not flooded.
Come up to the
You
microphone.
get a chance to speak in a public hearing, but you
All
can
right.
come
If
up. You come up,
you
come
have
on.
any questions,
Say your name. Say your name.
I'm Mary Brown Wilson. Highway floods because of the drainage, but that's a highway tip stop thing. We're just trying to straighten all that up, and because it's kind of, when it got rezoned, it kind of got mismatched, if you look at it. So we're trying to get all that straightened up. My family gave the city that sewer plant, all that property for the sewer plant about 30 years ago. They donated that to y'all.
maybe I was shuffling papers. Thank you for coming, by the way.
Yes.
What was the intent for this property with the zoning change?
Well, we really don't know. I mean, all the Brown brothers have passed away. Several of the families still lives in that Sunset High. All that was our family farm. And cousins and uncles moved and built houses, and my grandpa called it Sunset Heights because they saw the sunset over the top of his property. But anyway, we really don't know. We just know we need to clean it up while we can.
They asked him to zone it to residential.
If we can, I'd rather be
That's what
residential.
he's trying to.
From commercial to residential?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be better for residential to extend that Sunset Heights.
A misprint in our,
So that's what was happening. Chris was giving you a description, so you understand exactly what is zoned now and what they're gonna propose. Someone getting up to speak, he didn't get a chance to finish.
Yes, please do. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Stay with me, Chris.
If you wanna go ahead and finish, Chris, and let them know if the zone change, what the property is.
Semi-urban residential zoning. Again, semi-urban residential supports about, in general, a density of about 4 units an acre. If you do some additional green space, you can increase that density, where you get smaller lots, but of course, we will give you more lots for additional green space to support that development. In this case, again, like I said, the development pressures are indicating that residential is desired in this area. So P&Z and staff made a recommendation for approval.
So the Sterling and Brown lot, what kind of confused me is the Sterling and Brown lot is lumped in with the Maysville lot. Is that all one area, or is that, I'm sorry,
That's okay, look at the map. This is one area here,
okay,
and then the other area, see, he put it here, but it's right here.
okay.
There and there.
And this is all owned by the same family?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. All right, do we have any other questions? If not, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and move into action item, consider with possible action on ordinance number 0-2023-26, approving a zoning map amendment request for Ford with 14.27 acres and Maysville Block 14, Track 1 with 1.509 acres to make a zone change from general commercial to semi-urban residential and from rural agriculture to semi-urban residential. And I'll open it up if anybody has any questions regarding that.
I move that we approve ordinance of 2023-26 as presented. A second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Item G, hold a public hearing to hear a zoning map amendment, northwest corner of State Highway 321 and FM 686, legally described as 00045 TJ Haggerty, track 14 lot, track 14 with 10 acres, to make a zoning change from business park to general commercial.
This particular tract is currently zoned business park. The applicant is proposing to go to a general commercial zoning district on this 10-acre tract. The reason for that is to turn that hard corner into a district. Usually a gas station could use about 2 to 3 acres in size, so we can imagine that the other 7 would likely be more like a strip center or some other commercial use that supports highway traffic. As you know, 321 is a very busy corridor. This particular location is just in the eye shot of the Sam's Distribution Center, right here down the street. The prison is going to be located up here to the north, and this is the corner here. This is the only, if this is successful, this will be the only general commercial zoning district on this side. In this case, staff and P&Z recommends approval for this particular zoning.
Is there one here to speak?
I don't want to speak too loud again.
What's that? I'm sorry.
They don't want to speak too loud.
They don't want to speak.
No. You can close the public.
Anybody have any questions?
You can close the public hearing and then go to the next item for consideration,
Okay.
and that's when the council could.
Move into action item, consider with possible action ordinance number 0-2023-27, approving the zoning map amendment located at the southwest corner of State Highway 321 and FM 6840 with 10 acres to make a zone change from business park to general commercial.
I have no additional to give you, unless you have questions for me.
So we're just, basically this property is being used to put a gas station a little bit further out on 146 than with Calhoun's out there. I'm sorry, on 321. Is that Calhoun's out there or what is it?
It's not gonna be farther out, it's just on the other side of the road.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we've got too many roads. All right, can I get a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance number 2023-27, approving the zoning map amendment located at the northwest corner of State Highway 321 and FM 676.
Okay, I have a motion to approve in a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Can I get a motion to adjourn?